Why the U.S. Women's Open comes at a crucial moment for golf as Britain's Charlie Hull tees off alongside world number 1 Nelly Korda in the opening rounds of this week's U.S. Women's Open. The biggest championship in women's golf arrives at a pivotal juncture. Worth a record-equaling $12 million, this year's edition isn't just about the leaderboard, it's about the future of the women's game. A sport at a crossroads, while other elite women's sports like football and basketball are enjoying booming popularity and surging commercial value, women's golf has struggled to keep pace. Despite increases in prize money for major events, momentum has stalled, and many observers argue that the LPGA has failed to fully capitalize on its stars and potential. The women's game, some say, is at a crossroads. Enter Craig Kessler, LPGA's new hope. Stepping into this challenging landscape is Craig Kessler, a dynamic 39-year-old U.S. executive who will officially become LPGA commissioner in mid-July. Kessler, moving over from the PGA of America, already has his sleeves rolled up, meeting with players and key stakeholders in preparation for his new role. "We have to come out of the blocks strong," Kessler told reporters following the announcement of his appointment. Dubbed a young Mike Wan by former U.S. Solheim Cup captain Stacey Lewis, Kessler will follow in the footsteps of a commissioner who oversaw a golden decade for the LPGA, nearly doubling prize funds and forging meaningful relationships with sponsors and fans alike. Wan now heads the United States Golf Association, the same body organizing this week's major. It's no coincidence that Thursday's marquee group features Korda, Hull, and Lexi Thompson, teeing off at 14:25, 20:25 BST at Erin Hills. This high-profile trio, despite varying recent form, represents maximum global appeal and media value, a 2-2-0 calculated business decision for primetime viewership. Charisma over current form. Hull, now ranked 17th in the world and without a top 10 finish since March, and Thompson, who is semi-retired, may not be the hottest player statistically, but both remain fan favorites with significant social media followings. Their influence extends well beyond the scorecard. The LPGA's recent struggles. The LPGA has not had an easy ride in recent years. When Mike Wan departed in 2021, his successor Molly Marcoux-Mayen inherited a strong foundation, but struggled to maintain momentum. Early into her tenure, a public relations mishap involving players skipping an important sponsored dinner with CME's CEO Terry Duffy marked the beginning of several missteps. Duffy voiced his displeasure, stressing the need for stronger leadership and alignment between players and the tour. Simon's regime also failed to finalize a long-anticipated merger with the Ladies European Tour. Instead, the LET deepened its ties with Saudi Arabia's Aramco series, shifting the global landscape further. At last year's Solheim Cup, organizational blunders, such as a failed park-and-ride system, left grandstands empty for one of the most crucial moments in women's golf. Simon was forced to issue a public apology. More recently, players were notified that the LPGA's South Korean media rights partner had not paid for 2024 or 2025, and the tour's chief marketing and communications officer resigned after just 1 year. All of this culminated in Simon's resignation late last year, reportedly due to mounting pressure from players. English veteran and LPGA board member Mel Reid confirmed to the Golf Channel she was under pressure from a lot of players. Rebuilding trust, reigniting interest. The message to Kessler is clear. Rebuild trust, with players, sponsors, fans, and internally. A former major winner summed it up. He will need to rebuild some bridges and show that the LPGA is a place where corporations can do business. Another insider added that Kessler must reconnect with players and restore the tour to the vibrant, growing state it was in when Wan left. Kessler has already outlined his priorities, calling them his pillars, with trust building leading the list. Trust with our players, trust with our sponsors, trust with our fans, and trust with our team, he said. Can women's golf rise again? In the past, LPGA stars like Annika Sorenstam and Michelle Wie shared top billing in women's sport alongside tennis icons Serena Williams and Maria Sharapova. Today, female athletes in football and basketball, like rising star Caitlin Clark, are commanding headlines and attention that once went to golfers. This comes even as Nelly Korda dominates the game with transcendent potential, and Lydia Ko has Olympic and major titles to her name. The question is, did the LPGA do enough to spotlight them? As one retired major champion put it, make LPGA golf a destination for media and fans to attend. This week's U.S. Women's Open, with the biggest purse in history and a renewed focus under Kessler's leadership, might just be the beginning of that revival.